Cool. Jedediah?
That's not how the world made you. That's how you made you because of the decisions you're making.
No.
And yes, it is. The world doesn't make you masculine. You make you masculine. I know. I did it. I did it too. I was a career climber for years, and you know what? In order to survive in those meetings, I had to masculinize myself. I made me more masculine, not the world. My choices, my decisions.
What do you mean masculine?
Yeah,
so
but
now you're
that's not
defining.
fair. If we're taking care of ourselves and we're doing what we need to do to survive and get
We're paying taxes.
We're being human beings. Survival's only for the fittest.
We
if
shape
you're
ourselves
deciding
for what
you
we
want to
need
be,
to survive.
if you're
And I would
deciding,
love to know what you have to say.
Guys, hold on. Kree's done talking now. Jedediah's got to talk. So go ahead.
if you decide you want to be the woman of the house, if you decide you want to be the one to pay the bills, if you decide you want to be the one to make the decisions, if you decide you want to do a career climb, if you decide that if you meet a big strong man and he wants you to stop having sex with other guys online, you're just not going to do it because you're an empowered woman, then you are masculinizing yourself. That is how you masculinize yourself as a woman. You lose your softness, you lose your femininity. The man is no longer them. You basically demasculinize your man and you get all his masculinity. That's what's happening. And you can hear it right at the table.
Roles have been reversed.
Agree.
Yes,
I would like to know what you have to say because you were about to
Because
speak.
you put yourself at the head of the household.
We had to. There was not.
No,
Like
there wasn't. We had to. That wasn't the question. It was, if this happens, this is what you do. And if this instance, that's what you do. You put yourself as the head of the
See,
household.
my mom was the head of the household with 2 kids, and she did every other job. Like, she worked 5 jobs and stuff. So when I talk about my career, going back to the girl talking about being in the Playboy house, you know, she didn't look happy about that experience. When I talk about what I'm doing now, I'm so happy with what I'm doing because it's something I'm like driven and like actually give a fuck about doing, and it's something that makes me happy.
Why don't you have me on your podcast?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, yes. See, and that also goes to what you guys doing too. If you really genuinely love what you're doing, then that's great. Like, no judgment there, but like, I don't know. That's
Thank
my
you.
point.
Your
Yeah.
mother,
Thank you for the validation.
Your mother and your grandmother in Playboy didn't have their own podcast either.
Well,
And
my
that's all I'm
mom
saying.
also.
They didn't have a
Have
choice.
podcast.
Well,
Yeah.
but that's why I'm saying they didn't become prostitutes and they didn't do this either. They took on regular jobs to
But you
take
don't
care
know
of their
what they
family.
did.
Okay, time out. Hold on. Both things can be true. You
Yeah,
can't.
no, and that's
hold
what
on.
I'm
Both things can
saying.
be true. You can make money from sex work, and women have.
Yes.
Stop. You can make money from sex work, and now, especially since 1972, women have so many opportunities to make money outside of sex work. It is ridiculous.
Thank you.
And very quickly, but right now, there was, in 1972, women were 14 percentage points behind men when it came to getting a bachelor's degree. In 2019, women are now 15 percentage points ahead of men. We have come in the complete opposite direction. So while I do agree with you, yes, you can make a lot of money doing sex work. You could have made a lot of money doing a lot of other things. And in certain countries, like in Scandinavian countries, women are outpacing men as far as income is concerned. So the idea that this was the only thing you had to do, you're just playing a victim.
That's
you guys could have done
thank
something
you.
else. Go ahead.
And that's, again, goes back to, yeah.
But
I also know my mom. My mom has
also
never
does
done
that
any
for
of that.
anyone.
I've grown up with my mom
If
working
you
5
choose to
jobs.
do this of your own
Yeah.
volition, that's fine.
you
But to say
brought it
this was
back.
the only thing you could do
I
is
am
not
no
true.
victim.
You
Yeah.
brought it back to your mother and your grandmother directly.
Wait, what?
Oh,
Yeah,
oh.
because I know for a fact that my grandma was an engineer. My mom worked 5 jobs. I know for a fact she did that because she's the one that raised me and my mom, or me and my sister. Like, she could
You're
do
from
others.
Iowa?
I'm from Iowa.
I'm from Michigan.
Okay, so you know the Midwest, it's hardworking women.
Yeah.
And so like my mom, the biggest thing she told me was follow your passion, never follow a man. I'm following my passion and I'm happy as fuck. Whether that's, I don't do the sex work, but if that's what makes me happy, I'm finna do that. But that's not what makes me happy. I'm gonna do what I wanna fucking do, which is the podcast and fighting and the stuff
Beautiful.
that I do.
Zoe, what were you
Go
saying?
ahead.
Hold on.
So I just had a question for like all of the girls at the table. How many girls actually do sex work, whether it be OnlyFans, like meeting people, like whatever it is? Yes?
1, 2.
Yes. All of us?
I don't have
Okay.
it only
Except for
for
Monica.
So how many of you guys are actually happy with what you're doing in this current moment?
I'm very happy.
You guys are happy? Do you guys ever see that coming to a point that you guys would not be happy with yourself? Like having children, having a husband, like moving on in life? Like, because I'm getting to that point. I made my money and I'm like, I'm ready to leave it. So it's like, do you guys ever see that? Yeah?
I've been in the industry for 7 years, and I'm not just talking about like sex work, but just dancer work.
Yeah, yeah.
Just dancing in
Just
general.
dancing? Yeah.
It gets old.
It
gets
does.
old.
It does really
It gets
quick.
old getting to know someone every fucking day.
Exactly.
Well, it's
so
a
like
fucking
for me,
script.
it's like for like I don't want to target you guys, but you guys seem very happy with what you guys are doing, like in this moment. But like at some point, do you guys feel like it's gonna get old and you guys are going to want to settle down and it's going to have an emotional toll on you? Because that's where it hit me.
Well,
and like I'm ready to leave it and start my actual life. I've built my empire. I've done all of that. Do you guys ever see that?
For me personally, I could see myself always being somewhat into the sex industry. Maybe it's in the form of having websites, it's in the form of directing, it's in the form of all those kinds of things. It's always going to be there, but I also could see myself having other different things like makeup, fucking influencer, fucking all these other things. So but it all ties together.
Yeah, so
entity.
Yeah.
like Jedediah was saying, like, what kind of man do you see yourself with? Like, at the end of the day, you say that you want like a really respectable man that like can hold it down and stuff for you. But do you believe that you can actually find that in the future?
Yes.
Yes?
I can, because
Yeah?
you know what? This job might be my job, but I am more than this job.
I believe you.
Yeah,
I believe you.
are a queen.
You are. You are, for sure.
You're a queen.
For sure.
He probably likes redheads too.
Even if that
Well, mine's a fake red. Sorry, I diet this.
Mine's natural.
I feel like
Hold on,
I'm
wait,
curious-
Wait, let Jed go. Go
I'm
ahead, Jed.
curious, the girl on the end that was just speaking, talking about
Zo-
how you're
Zoe.
saying,
Uh-huh.
Zoe, saying, I want to leave
Yeah,
this. I don't want to, I built my empire. I don't want to do this anymore. Are you concerned about these decisions that you've made having an impact on you finding a stand-up guy who's a gentleman, who's all these things? Are you worried that that's going to be a problem now?
It has already been an issue. I do find it being an issue for future partners. So for my past partners, it has been an issue. I also have a daughter. She is going to be 5. So moving on with that, she's just going to get older. She's going to be more exposed to that. I've been looking into ways to remove myself from the internet completely. Like I said, I built my empire. I have more than enough. I invested my money. I was smart with it. And like, yeah, I'm ready to get out.
See that? I think like
Do you
that
have a
voice.
plan, 5-year plan?
What?
Do you have a 5-year plan?
I don't need a 5-year plan. I had a lifetime plan from when I started.
From when you get out, like, so you plan for the next 5 years.
What do you want to do now?
Yeah.
What is something that
What do I want to
I
do?
feel like
Yeah.
that's a choice as
like,
a mother.
Is it makeup?
I really
Is
don't
it,
feel like it's a choice.
I don't.
You
I don't
literally
need
go
to do
out and
anything. My
sacrifice
life is already set up for
It's-
me.
it's
I
your
have
choice.
businesses. I have properties. I have.
I get that,
so
but
many
also
things.
like
I
if
don't want
I
to
didn't
plan.
have something to look
No.
forward to doing every day, I would get
I don't
so
need to.
bored.
I can just. I
It's
can
not
just
about
sit
being
there
bored,
and
though.
enjoy
It's
my
about
life.
being
I can
financially responsible for your
go
child.
sit on
I
a
know,
beach
but
and I
like-
can
As a
enjoy
single
my
mom.
life.
Doing a different job
That's
or
why-
something just
that's
for the
why I
look
got
of
into
it.
what I'm
Going to Mexico
doing.
tomorrow.
If you're
That's why I
thinking
got
about
into
doing
what I'm doing.
makeup,
All right,
And a
hold
lot
on.
of young
Hold on,
girls.
Why don't you
crosstalk. Go ahead, Jed.
No, I think her message is important though, because it's so easy when you're making a shit ton of money to just say, this is what I'm
Suspend it.
doing now. Who cares? Let me just live in the moment. Let me do the climb. I'm a career woman. Oh, there will be so many opportunities. It's really hard once you realize that you want to get out to say, holy shit, I've been doing all this stuff. The record of all of it online. I don't want to be known as this anymore. Yeah, I have my money and my financial stability, but I have a child. I don't want this. I don't want this to be my identity anymore. It's not so easy to delete. So if you make a decision today, even the other girl who's in green, pretty girl saying, I want to do this. I want to be with a sex worker. This is my decision. I want to marry a sex worker. I want someone in the industry. You might feel that way today and not feel that way tomorrow. All I'm saying is take a minute, especially the girls that are new to this, to just sit and think about, is this going to be so easy to walk away from? Is there going to be a record of all this? Is that going to impact me? If I have a daughter, am I going to want her to see this? Am I going to struggle with that reality? Because it may change your mind about what you're doing right now. And if you think I want to attract this kind of guy, and you know that kind of guy is not going to be drawn to what you're doing, then start making decisions today to attract that guy. If you don't give a shit today, fine, but you might give a shit tomorrow, is all I'm saying.
My thing is I've done a lot of my life of attracting other men, like attracting men and doing what men want, and it has gotten me nowhere. So you know what? I'm going to do what I want to do because it makes me happy. I'm going to make my money, and whoever comes that thinks that I'm doing great, go for it. But the thing is that I am done making myself available and making myself change and changing my whole personality to fit some other person that is not fucking me.
Yes, queen.
Even if you say that though now, and even let's take the guy out of it. Let's say you say, I don't give a shit about guys, right? I'm going to do this for me. Even if you decide, say in 5 years, you turn around and something happens in your life and you say, this is not me anymore. I don't want to do this. This is not who I am. I don't want to be defined by this. I don't agree with it. Whatever. You have some type of epiphany. It can happen to any one of us. It's not so easy because of the line of work you've done with this record everywhere for you to say that and walk away and just remove yourself from that identity, because it's very explicit what you're doing.
You have a digital footprint.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, just take that into consideration.
There, whether or not you're paid for each view, and your daughter or your family knows about it, that's going to be there online.
Well, it's going to be real hard for me because I use my real name.
To take it down.
That is crazy as
Me
shit.
too. Me too,
wait,
girl. I use
Mine
mine.
is hella separated. I
So-
got
Didn't
both.
Asa Akira? I think Asa Akira used her real name too, right? Did she? All right.
People do.
No.
Want to get to another video?
Yeah, we'll get to let's get to supers in a minute
Okay,
here.
look, you ready to
I want to throw one last thing in here. Maybe Jed, maybe this is something you put in your notes that you're writing down right now. Today we live in a media world where it is easier for a woman to get $1 million from one man, or from $1 million from 1 million men, than it is to get $1 million from one man. So when you have the what you're asking girls to do from an OnlyFans perspective, I'm just going to use OnlyFans as the example here. What you're asking women to do is to give up this incredible amount of money to get with one guy who's supposed to have a whole shit ton of money. And that's a really difficult choice to make when women are financially dependent, or it's called lifestyle creep. You can only live this lifestyle if you keep doing what you've been doing. So you've got to figure out rationales for that. You've got to figure out, like, how am I going to sort of justify this to myself psychologically and moralistically, or whatever it is. And so that's how you get that compartmentalization that I was saying before. But you have to throw in the financial aspect into this as well. As I was saying before, it is easier for women to get 1 million men to pay them $1 than it is to get one man and marry that one man and get $1 million as a result.
Yeah,
of
but
being with that guy.
this whole table is full of women who are not dumb, right? I'm listening to them talk. These are not stupid women. These are, they're smart, they're business savvy, they're pretty girl, they're attractive. So what I'm saying is there's a lot of avenues here. If you wanted to take, now do I believe that the boss babe, whole path for women is the ideal path for women? I personally don't. But if you're going to take a boss babe path, there's a lot of different ways you could do it. So, and it's not only about money. Like, money is great. Money is awesome. But when you lose a lot sometimes in exchange for money. So I'm just saying, like,
That's
self-reflect.
risk adverse, and men are more risk adverse than women.
Well, no, men are more
Risk
women
tolerant.
are more risk averse. Men have more risk tolerance.
I thought it was the opposite.
Yeah. No, men have more risk tolerance because of testosterone.
Okay,
All right, let's do supers.
Okay, here we go. Siege G. Question for the ladies: are you guys more turned on if a guy tells you that he's a virgin, and/or autistic? I'm seeing too many guys who think it's something to be proud of. Shout out to Iron Rule number 2. Ladies, raise your hand if you like virgin more. Virgin more. Who here likes autistic?
Give me an autism man. I'm a little bit on the tism spectrum, so give me a tism man. What are you obsessed with? Me? Yes.
There's that is assault.
You clearly haven't had a fan before.
Somebody that's not mentally capable of making decisions.
Medium
Versus
with a
where
touch
you
of
have
Spectrum.
I love love on the spectrum. They're so nice to each other.
Awesome.
Go ahead.
CG, Jed is obvious. Hold on. Guys, quiet. Jed is obviously Siege's favorite tonight on this Access Vegas show. First panel show. Second would be Monica Simp Siege.
Hey,
Monica
let's go.
Siege
Thank
likes
you.
you.
Hey.
Derek Nelson, Sartain, and Rolo stole all the testosterone.
Yes.
Wait, flex. You guys got to flex now. Show the
What are you talking
testosterone.
about?
Yeah.
in the bathroom. It's in there somewhere.
Data?
Daddy, yes.
Hey, Sartain, how's the home studio coming? Thank you, Siege. If you watch my interview with when Jedediah had me on her show, that's my home studio. It is complete and it looks great. Rational Redneck. What would you girls do when your kids are getting bullied because their classmates found your old content? What would you guys do?
Oh my God, what a question.
Beat them up. No.
I'm like, why are you watching porn?
I think we had this conversation
Why's your
already.
parents at?
I'd be
Why
like,
are you on those websites?
Why are you on those websites?
Yeah, you shouldn't be on those
Because
websites.
they're
sir.
children.
Yeah, but because these.
I go to their parents. I go to their parents and tell them, "Hey, your child is watching my content. Just so you know, that is illegal, and you should tell
I feel like the dads would then look
Tell
it
your
up.
dad to log off my channel and turn the
Sign
computer off.
out. Yeah, no, we definitely had this conversation before, Michael, and I told you that I would tell my daughter to go and tell them, well, you're sitting here in school while I'm at Disneyland, so.
Wow.
Beautiful. I love that answer, actually.
Pocket.
What were you doing during this time?
Jed, I'm going to say something that I've said this before, and it's going to sound kind of crazy. I actually think, and I'm not condoning this. I think that when kids bully other kids for their parents being on OnlyFans, those kids will get immediately expelled. I think the pervasive wokeness is going to be like, I can't believe you would shame someone for doing sex work, and therefore you're going to see I think you're going to see these kids get expelled from.
I don't even think it's that. It's that child is watching porn.
Yeah.
That is expulsion. Your child is underage.
Yeah.
They're watching
But
porn.
that won't happen.
That's just deviant behavior.
But also, were you never a teenager who watched porn? Like, that shit happens. Like,
Okay, but the woke education system narrative is not
They're
going
just
to
tattling
it's not
on
gonna punish you
themselves.
for watching porn.
Let them tattle. They're literally tattling on themselves.
No, it's
How'd
a
they
no
find
judgment
how'd
culture.
they find you in the first place?
Pornhub.
Go ahead, Jed.
It's a no judgment culture, Mike, is what you're saying. That it's going to be stressed like you can't
No,
judge,
it's
you can't
a
shame, you
judgment
can't-
culture. If you're a Trump supporter, they're going to.
Well, yes, it's a
still
no
judgment
no
culture.
judgment culture when you're
Yeah.
doing something illicit or
Yeah.
something that fits within
Exactly.
their
shaming
yeah.
the kid for watching porn.
100%. But in all of this conversation, you got to realize that regardless of what you say, the kids are going to be affected. Kids are going to find out.
Yeah.
Their friends are gonna. It's all going to be on the internet. It's going to be searchable. Whether they should be looking at it or not, of course, they shouldn't be, but they're going to see it and they're going to be affected negatively. So again, when women make these decisions, like, I get it, you want to make money, but you're going to have future children that are going to be affected by this. You're going to affect yourself and your ability to get married in a healthy relationship. There's other stuff to think about aside from dollars and cents here.
What do you think? What do you think the likelihood Kim Kardashian goes to her family and says, "Hey, I just want to apologize to you for making a bad decision of
Their
having
kids don't even
Made a
know
great
anything.
decision.
Stop
She's a billionaire 'cause
Stop
of
talking.
that.
Hold on. Give me a second.
It's a great decision.
What do you think? Kim Kardashian goes, "Hey, I just want to let you know, it's really unfortunate that my child is watching the sex tape with me and Ray J. And I just want to apologize to my family for making this decision that put me in a." You don't think she's going to say that?
No, because her kids
let me
aren't
finish.
on
What
the
do you think?
internet.
Hold on. What do you think she's going to say later to her family that, hey, you know what? Maybe I put you guys in a bad position when I ended up marrying Kanye West. Maybe that was a bad thing. Do you think that maybe
That
again?
also elevated her career. He
Again,
got her
I don't know if it
very much
elevated.
more
I don't know if it
publicity.
elevated her career. I don't know if it
Well,
elevated.
I
so
don't
Kanye-
think that she ever would, but I wish that she would.
Yeah, that's my point.
Well, first
I'm
of
going to go
all-
back to my original point when it comes to Lana Rhoades, when it comes to Mia Khalifa, when it comes to Holly Madison.
They don't take
hold on,
responsibility for
Go
them.
back and apologize to that dude you left. Go back and apologize to your husband who you cheated on.
Kanye
Go
is-
back and apologize to your pastor. Go back and apologize to your parents. I want to see that first. You have to do that, and then you can play the victim. Ain't nobody playing the victim if you have to.
First of all, Kanye is a crazy person, and then two,
Again, so what have you done to her family and all of her associates by having her associate?
and her
with the crazy
kids aren't
person?
on the internet. Her
apparently
kids
keeps
have
making
nothing to
incredible
do.
beats, by
Her
the way.
kids don't know
Incredible
any of
beats.
this information because they're not allowed to be on there.
Kanye is a
That's
different
false. Her
conversation.
kids,
from
Her kids
definitely-
know.
North definitely knows how
kids
the
know.
fuck
Two
Kim got
completely different
famous,
things.
I
No, no,
think.
He
agreed,
brought
agreed.
them
I'm not
into
denying
light.
Yeah.
He
No,
brought
I'm
them
not
in.
disagreeing what she
Oh, yeah.
says. Yeah.
Michael has a good point. I think they're
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
The pastor married my sister and her husband,
Yeah.
and Being that, you know.
What I'm saying is, like you want the world to not hold you accountable, then go back to all those people who begged you to not make this decision and apologize to them, and you won't.
Didn't like her mother? Didn't her
No one
mother
told me not
help
to do it.
release
Everyone
that?
told me to do it.
The
Just so
sex
y'all
tape?
know.
I'm not sure, maybe.
Her mom was like involved in that. I mean, the whole family.
I wouldn't count her mother in this. What I'm saying is there was probably some guy who wasn't Ray J, who she was dating,
Sure,
who wasn't going to film her having sex, and she left that guy to be with this guy who's a bad boy, and then and my point is, she looks back now. I guarantee you, if she could go back now.
I know her first husband, and he was abusive when he was a football player. No one knows about him.
Okay, so
he was a client.
So here's my next point is, it doesn't seem like she's very lucky in love, does it?
No.
It doesn't seem like she's listening to help. It doesn't seem like she's listening to a lot of healthy conversations. You know who wasn't abusive? Rob Kardashian, her dad. He was actually a pretty good dude, and her husband
Maybe
left.
he was too much of a simp.
And her husband left. So that's the lesson we want to leave here. My point is, if she had a football player husband who abused her, and then she had the situation with Chris Humphrey, and then she had the situation with Kanye West, and then she had the situation with Ray J, and then she had the situation with Pete Davidson, and then she had the situation with Reggie Bush. If she did that, and at some point could she hold herself accountable for her behavior? And the answer is no. And the answer
First
is no.
of all, you're talking about a narcissist. You're talking about a narcissist.
Right. Well, again, but my point is, if women just don't want to be held accountable, what am I saying is, if you guys want to claim victimhood, and I'm not saying anyone at this table is claiming victimhood, but these women online who want to claim victimhood, go back and apologize to your pastor. I want to see that first.
Take
I want to see that first.
accountability.
When you go to AA, what
I'm not
happens?
religious
They make
like
you go
that.
back and they make you atone for what you did and go ask for forgiveness for every single person you fucked over while you were getting drunk. They make you do that. So if these women, if Lana Rhoades wants atonement for her doing porn, go back and apologize to every dude that she dated before she started doing porn who didn't want her to go do that shit. That's what I want to see, and you'll never see it. That's my point.
Yeah, you're right, Michael.